So what's up? So
Hi.
hi, hello.
That was fierce. I love that.
Like I've never talked to you guys before. It's been so
It's
long.
been like a while.
I know, it's so weird.
It's not like we ever do this ever.
Yeah, it's been at least 24 hours.
You know,
It has.
I had to add that countdown, and so you guys may not realize this. Every time I would do the live show, before I didn't have that little countdown at the end, and I would get distracted, and then I would be talking, and then it would be like, boom, there I'm on, and I'd be like, oh shit, hello.
I thought you were going to say people were so mad that you didn't have a countdown.
No, but that would be a funny thing to be mad about. But I did not. So I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm adding a countdown. Now I'll know. And I was still a little surprised, but I thought we were going to go in like -1. This is welcome to the first official Darkfriend social. So this is not obviously the first live stream. However, it was rebranded per audience voting. Well, not really voting. They said they said I needed a name. I crowdsourced it, and Darkfriend Social came back. So Darkfriend Social is the name of the live show from now on. So
I was told this was the first, so
this is the first ever.
Okay,
you should be honored.
I am honored.
I mean, it's a big deal. Yes.
Okay. Most of my guests or anybody that watches this later, I'm sure they know who the hell you are, but just to kind of go through the exercise anyway, who the hell are you and why the hell are you here? Let's start with you, Mr. Wheel Talk.
Hey, I am Brian, also known sometimes as Recappa Sedai. I host Wheel Talk on YouTube. I am also one of the co-hosts of Tarvalin After Dark, which I assume you're listening to. And if you're not, I have nothing to say to you. But no, you need to listen to that. And yeah, we have a lot of fun on Wheel Talk. It's a silly channel. We are on a little hiatus while we wait for season 2. But if you haven't checked out Wheel Talk, we have some really fun videos there that you should check out.
Yes, we do.
Lots of costumes.
Yes, yes, you do. We have I think my favorite ever Wheel Talk episode is still A Very IEL Christmas, although A Very IEL New Year was still good too. So
thank you. I like that one too.
A Very IEL everything is it's all delightful.
Yeah, I think we haven't seen the last of those.
Well, and then we had a new segment on Tarvalin After Dark, which was basically like Real Housewives of the IEL Waste or something like that.
The Real IEL of blank, I think is going to be a new thing. Yeah.
And that was fucking hilarious. See, I did it, Jess. You see, I was telling you can't say the F word, and I just did it.
Wait, we can't say the F word?
It's YouTube.
They get all weird about it.
We don't want to drop lots of F words here. Okay,
so we can't say the F word. You're telling me not to say the F word.
Yes, no saying friends. Okay, Jess, who the hell are you?
Yes.
And why are you?
I am the hell the Amerlin from the Amerlin Study. I do. What do I do? I do reaction videos, and it's fun. And I say lots of cuss words, which is also fun. And I also am Nae'Blis and Brian's co-host on Tarvalin After Dark, which I also have nothing to say to you if you are not listening to it.
Yep. And you can listen to that anywhere you get your podcasts. But Jess, you make videos on YouTube. You put out something that I thought was quite hilarious, and I thought I would play a little clip of this. Jess does reaction videos to like the Wheel of Time series. Like she does, or lots of things, but Wheel of Time was one of the things you did a lot of reaction videos to. And there's a nice little supercut going on here that I think I'll just go ahead and play and let everybody enjoy this.
Oh shit. 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 Holy shit. Oh shit. Jeez, done with your bullshit. Oh, for shit's sake. Oh, that is nasty shit. Shit. Oh shit. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! It's team shit. Some fun drum circle shit. philosophical shit. Shit, look at him go! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Okay.
Love it.
My favorite is your you always go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that was great.
yeah, I feel like it's important to note that every single one of those reactions is 100% off the cuff, like
Not planned.
not planned. I watch it cold every time. That is my legitimate reaction.
Well, we did get, I want to first of all say thank you, CJ. I don't know if he was tipping for a wig or not, but he did tip the appropriate amount for the new wig, which I don't know if all of you have seen. So let me, I'm going to disappear for a second because I always like the dramatic reveal of mine. So 1 second. I am still here. You can hear me, but
I don't even know which way is front on this wig, so I'm just going to go for it.
Just go for it. I need to do some maintenance on this wig.
That looks like that could be the front.
Oh, that is fabulous. Look at you.
So good.
I am Mozart or something.
You are.
So thank you very much, CJ, for making me wear
Give me a
this.
sec.
I appreciate you.
Here we go.
So now that we've got our wig situated, first of all, Jess, yours looks amazing. That's
Thank you.
an awesome looking wig.
This is from Arta Wigs, which do really excellent cosplay wigs. And I got this one for $5 at Dragon Con one year because apparently it's imperfect. And I have yet to figure out what part of it is imperfect. So this is like a $35 wig that I got for $5.
I just buy whatever's cheap on Amazon. And every time that we get to $100 in tips, I buy a wig on the live stream. So
Yay!
we'll have to have another wig. I've got 3 currently. So, all right. So we'll talk about a lot of other things, but for now, the main topic that we're going to get into tonight is we're going to talk about the 7 Ajahs, which of them suck, which of them are good, and then we'll rank them. So what I want to do, the way I want to format this discussion, is I want to talk about each of the Ajahs. Now, it may give away how we feel about them, but it may not. I want to go through each one, and we'll talk about the pros and the cons. And then, at the end, we will rank the Ajahs in terms of which ones are good and which ones suck. Now, this does include the Black Ajah. So, just FYI.
Good to clarify.
So we will kick things off with everybody's favorite. Actually, we will kick things off first of all by saying thank you, Nick Letsom. You are awesome.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nick. This is amazing. All right, I'm going to change my wig for that.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine too.
This is my $20 wig, so this is the one that stays on.
Thank you, Nick. It's gorgeous. You should, keep it.
Well, yeah, I feel like I should be playing a piano. I feel like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when Mozart or Beethoven is in the music store in the mall. That's
you look like you could be in Hamilton.
I'm just gonna let it
not really
fall where it falls.
I could be the.
Oh yeah, this one looks good.
Okay. So let's kick things off with the Red Ajah. Let's talk about the Red Ajah. General thoughts, Brian. Let's hear them. What do you think, Red Ajah? Go.
They're interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the individuals in the Red Ajah, but I think as a whole, that Ajah falls into the story in a much more interesting way than many of the others. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate them for that. Some of the most interesting characters are Red Ajah. I do really enjoy too that the Red Ajah has an arc that at the end of the series, you start to see them change and evolve, which you don't really get for the other Ajahs. I think that's really cool. So I come to appreciate them for that. And I think, Jess, your wig looks amazing. It's dope. I think as much as like I hate the individuals in the Red Ajah, I do enjoy reading about them. They're interesting.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Jess?
I think that from a story perspective, the Red Ajah is very interesting. And they obviously drive a lot of the story and like people's motivations and stuff like that. I think that as an entity, I feel like have lost their way because they just really have gotten mired in this whole sort of hatred of men who can channel thing. When I think that overall they should probably be focused on that as well as like Tower Law and stuff like that. Like, you know, they're supposed to be enforcers, and I feel like they're missing an opportunity to, you know, maintain integrity in many places. And then of course you have the people who are going out and gentling men without trial and shit like that. So
I agree with all of that. The thing with the Red Ajah to me is I look at, like, first of all, why do they exist and are they effective at what they do? And to a small degree, you could argue, right, that maybe the Reds are one of the more effective Ajahs at maybe carrying out their mandate because they do find men who can channel.
I was gonna say maybe one of the more important Ajahs. I don't know if I could say more effective as far as like. Well, we'll get to the others. I don't know. I don't know how we gauge some of the others.
I mean, I feel like it depends on how you're defining.
Yeah.
Effective. If you're defining effective from the standpoint of their prime directive is to find men who can channel, bring them to the tower for trial, and then have them gentled, then yes, I would say that they're probably pretty effective. But although corrupt, if it is in terms of anything else that they could or should be doing, not so much. They're pretty tunnel vision.
So I don't like the Red Ajah, to be clear, and I don't think we're meant to like the Red Ajah, although I do like some individuals in the Red Ajah. But I'll say this, I think that they were the most effective and had the most important mandate of any of the Ajahs. Because if nobody was out capturing men who could channel, that world is a pretty effed up place. So like, like they do need that. Like they carry out a vital function.
And that's what I love about them. That's what I appreciate about the Reds is like this Ajah has a very specific, important purpose. And, you know, while I may not like the people in it, there's a reason they're there.
Well, real quick before we move on from talking about the Reds, who is your favorite member? We'll do this for each Ajah. Who is your favorite member of the Red Ajah?
Sylviana.
Love it. Jess?
I like Sylviana. I really like Pavara. If we're talking show Reds so far, Leandrin.
Well, she's the only one you have a name to, but yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. I'm torn because there's 3 Reds I really love. I love Teslin too. So I love Sylviana. I love Teslin. I love Pavara. If I had to pick one, I would probably go with Pavara just because she sort of breaks the mold a little bit and she's not just that. But before we move on to talking about our next Ajah, Darush Sedai, thank you so much.
Hey, but a new wig.
He meant to say buy a new wig. To me,
but also
because once we get to $100, but we are currently at $89.99. So like we need another 11 before I have to buy another. Well, and that, look at that. Oops. I am so bad at hitting the wrong buttons here.
Why are you so bad at doing your job?
I don't know. Jay Diggity, thank you. But they missed a bunch of men, and they absolutely did. But before we, I'm not saying that they're just the epitome of effectiveness. But I'll say this: compared to some of the other Ajahs, I'll say they did a pretty bang up job. Okay.
Wow, I look great.
You do look great.
You look amazing.
No, I know it's beautiful.
Jess, your wig, like mine look like ridiculous. Brian's are funny, and your wigs are like amazingly good looking. Like,
I know.
That's because I spend a lot of money on these. These are $40 or $50 wigs. This one actually comes with a hairpiece, and I think it was like $65. It came in a ponytail, and it has like this long.
Oh wow!
Ponytail.
Love it. Mine fits under a set of headphones. Think about that. No, yours is great.
Before we get started, I think I need to buy a new wig now. So I will I will debut the new wig next week when I order it, but we will get a new wig. Thank you much.
Love.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the white Ajah. The white Ajah.
Can't wait.
Well, we got to, before we move off the Reds, Adam says, I just don't understand why Reds didn't look into finding male channelers before they went mad and bonding them, either to prepare for the last battle or just to see if it works. I think, what's your response to that real quick?
Why they didn't look into finding male channelers as warders sooner?
Yeah.
I think that actually makes total sense to me, because the moment when it's first suggested is actually a really incredible moment in the series. I don't remember when it's who or when exactly when it's presented before the hall, but they all freak out, and it is a big deal because these Reds have built up a culture of hating men, and basically it's not about saving the world from these channelers, it's about hating the channelers, the male channelers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the idea of bonding with them is scary for them, and that's why I really like that arc for the Red Ajah. I like that starts to change, but I'm not surprised that they don't go for it sooner. I wouldn't expect them to.
Well, and it also, you have to consider the fact that they are so against having a warder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't want one. They are actively against it, with like the exception of Pavara, who has said openly that she would be interested in having one. But the general consensus amongst the Red Ajah is that no, we don't do warders ever, not ever. And so, like, why would they consider it when like they don't want even a warder who can't channel?
Well, I think at that time too, there was just such a, before Rand was obviously around, there was a little bit way more of a stigma on dealing with, because they were forced to let male channelers walk around when Rand was in charge, basically. And that wasn't something they were forced to do before. So let's talk about the white Ajah. Jess, you go first this time. The whites are the logic Ajah. What do you think? General thoughts.
So I feel like in terms of what we see on screen in the story, we don't see a lot of the white Ajah. And so I think the consensus among people is that the white Ajah are useless. And I think that probably a lot of what happens with the white Ajah goes on behind closed doors. Because we're not talking about like logic, like linking logic or something like that, like children's games or something like that. We're talking logic as in logic problems, as in philosophy, as in like thinking about shit and like figuring out important shit about humanity and shit like that. That's what philosophy is. And like, to learn philosophy, you have to take logic classes. Like the first one is commonly called baby logic. So, you know, they're called logicians, but I think that, you know, philosophers would probably be a better moniker. But by the same token, if memory serves, like at one point, wasn't the white Ajah, weren't they the ones who were in charge of like logistics, like getting supplies in and out of the tower and shit like that?
I don't remember that.
We don't see it.
Yeah.
I swear to God, they mentioned something about a bunch of whites sitting around trying to figure out like grain and shit like that. But maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. But yeah, I think that the purpose of the white Ajah is something that isn't immediately important to the story at hand, which is the Dragon Reborn, the last battle, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like their shit would be applicable in a different way, like law and that kind of bullshit.
Brian, thoughts?
I'm gonna give a less kind assessment of the white Ajah. I don't like it. I think it's actually a pretty bold move if you're going to establish 7 Ajahs, each with a different purpose, to say this one is logic, and then not give us a single example of why that's helpful in this world. If there were, because I would agree with you, Jess, if there were one example of like where I'm like, oh, that really came in handy having a logic Ajah. but I don't think there is one.
Headcanon. This is headcanon.
Sure.
For me,
I just mean in general,
So.
like we just talked about the Reds, and like with the Reds, I understand why they're there. I may not like them, but I get why they're there. With the White Ajah, I'm like, this could be tied in. I mean, every Ajah needs logic, and I don't think having one specified to logic without any other context makes any sense. Like I honestly, the Greys should be tied into the Whites, I think, if they're negotiators. But I think that they all are going off of logic, and we never see this Ajah of logic pay off in any way, and it makes me crazy.
Okay.
Why do we have a logic Ajah?
I'm going to take it further than you,
Because
Brian.
it's philosophy.
I think it's the stupidest.
But they're all philosophers,
so dumb.
and I mean, the Browns are philosophers.
Okay. If you're gonna I can understand being a philosopher, right?
I would put that under the Browns.
So you could be a philosopher.
Sorry, I hate the White Ajah.
So yeah, but you could be a philosopher, but the idea that an entire section and organization in the White Tower is dedicated to this. What do they do? Like, what is the daily task for a White Ajah sister?
They think. Like, that's what philosophers do. Like, literally, you have colleges with entire philosophy departments. What do they do all day? They literally think. They think about shit. That's all they do.
Well, that's actually a good question.
Shit and they figure shit out.
What the hell do they do other than teach?
I could have Rich come down and we could ask him.
It's nothing against philosophy. It's as far as how it functions in the tower for me is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
as far as like, because I think
we don't see a function.
We don't.
I mean, we assume one would assume that it must have a function. We just never see it.
Okay, who is your favorite member of the White? Just to keep us moving, Brian. Who's your favorite White Ajah? Keep in mind, Alviarin does not count.
I was gonna say Alviarin doesn't count.
Alviarin was gonna be my favorite.
Ciane? Is it Ciane who's the White sister? I mean, there's only like
that's the one I can think of. Okay. By the way, Brian's argument against the White Ajah isn't logical.
According to come at me about the White Ajah.
I don't remember any other White sisters besides Alviarin, so I'm gonna tap out on that one.
Yeah, I think same one. Ciane, she's the sitter. She's the one I like, but that's about it. There aren't a lot of Whites that are worth it. They're the smallest Ajah. Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that but I can't honestly think of another that stands out.
Let's move on and talk about the Blue Ajah. The Blues.
Let's do it.
So Brian, take us off. Blues.
So the Blues, like, I'm always going to be biased in favor of the Blues because we are introduced to the Aes Sedai through Moiraine. And I love Moiraine. And I think that the way we're introduced to the Aes Sedai really is through a Blue Ajah lens. And so I'm always going to love the Blue Ajah because I came to trust Moiraine. So I feel biased towards the Blues because I also love Swan, even though, technically she's not, but all that. I think because of Moiraine, it's hard for me to give an objective opinion because I don't know. I love the Blues. I think blue is like I debate whether I would be blue or brown because so much again of what the Blues do causes is very vague and you could tie it into other Ajahs. But I really respect what the Blues do in general and mostly because of Moiraine, I love the Blues.
Yeah. Jess?
Well, what do Blues do besides Moiraine?
Well, there's Swan. Swan and Moiraine are both, with New Spring, they are both.
Right, okay, so they have a mission to find the Dragon Reborn, right? What about the rest of the Blue Ajah? Like, literally, what do they do?
There's not a lot of it, but honestly, I think they have more representation as far as an Ajah purpose than the majority of the others, even with that one example.
See, I find the whole idea of their whole thing being causes too vague for me to really be able to, like, the way that you, like, think the whole logic thing is stupid. I think that the whole causes thing is stupid because, like, what does that mean? Does that mean that they, like go out and they help people, like if their cause is helping unhoused people or starving people, or like what does that mean? And we don't really know because the only cause that we see on screen is Swan and Moraine's, which
I agree
is
with that
what I do
completely.
love about the Blue Ajah is their eyes and ears network. Now
Mhm.
that makes them useful because those bitches know everything, and
Yep.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So I would say that the Blue Ajah is not so much the cause Ajah, but the badass spy bitch Ajah.
I think it's
I
a
wish
little
they
bit of
were the
both.
Spy Ajah. The Spy Ajah would be so much cooler.
Look, and let's be real here. Which cause is more important than the one we see front and center?
Well, that's
Well,
why
I'm not
it's
saying
so
that
know,
it's not
like-
important. I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm just saying that, like, okay, but literally, what are the rest of them doing? Like, we don't get any examples of what causes are and what they do. Like,
but I think that they generally like the idea that I think they're trying to make the world a better place, or they stand for a greater good. You tend to see more selflessness out of Blue Ajah people. I mean, look at
see,
Lelaine.
that makes
She's
more
so
sense.
selfless.
Like,
yeah, but
putting
I also kind
like
of feel
looking at it through that lens makes a lot more sense. Like, their higher purpose is making the world better.
In this case, I really like what the show did by making them
Mhm.
the Justice Aja. That's what they
Mhm.
are. Like, I really like that. So
I feel like the Reds are still the Justice Ajah.
well, the Reds are the Aja that are the police, basically. So they police channelers in the show. They label
And they bring
the
them
Blues,
back to the Tower for justice.
right. But the Blues are they are basically social justice warriors. It's like basically kind of the way to think of them. So, but yes,
Ryan Patrick just said defund the Reds.
defund it.
Defund the
That's
Reds.
funny.
Again, I think it's hard because, like you said, Jess, causes is a very vague thing to put over them. And I do think we could say every single Aja is trying to make the world better. So for me, it doesn't make them more specific to me. I hear what you're saying, but and I love the Blues. I just said I love them, but yeah, it is vague. It's vague.
So, favorite, is it going to be Maureen for both of you? Your favorite Blue?
I don't know about Jess. I'm going to say
I like Maureen. I like Maureen a lot. I like Book Maureen and I love Show Maureen, but I think, I don't know, man. It's a toss up for me between Maureen and Swan. Because like Swan is just such a fucking bad bitch. She's such a bad bitch.
I like
She's
Swan
amazing.
a lot. It's hard
I
to
really
go
like
against
Swan.
Maureen
I'd probably
for
go with
me.
Swan.
It's hard for me to go against Maureen. So, real quick here, before we move on, we're going to do the yellows next. Before we do that, it's time for a shameless plug. And it's really not that shameless because all three of us are here and we are a part of TVAD. So if you have never listened to Tarball and After Dark, we do a podcast together. How would you describe our podcast, Jess?
It is like part sketch comedy, part news, part discussion, arguments, and bullshit. And then we also do a commercial every week. So if you want to hear us bicker at each other like this every week, just listen to our podcast.
Yeah, it's like a comedy / like we got bits and commercials. And speaking of
we got bits, baby.
It is time for the world premiere. So you need to check out tomorrow's episode. But here you go. The sneak peek for those of you watching. Here we go. Success.
Beauty.
Elegance.
Wet animals.
Everyone wants to smell like they have it all. But what if your husband is a wolf brother and can literally smell every fucking thing you're thinking? Introducing Wolf Brother Fragrances. With Wolf Brother Fragrances, you can disguise your scent so your husband's discerning nose will be misled in the exact direction you want. Are you annoyed and don't want him around? Use our menstrual cycle pheromone scent. It'll make him think you're having the worst period of your life and he'll tread carefully. Do you want to make him jealous? Just wear our Galad Damodred scent that will make him think you've been trading sweat with that burly white cloak. He'll go berserker. And what if you're in the mood for some freaky time? The disheveled female wolf scent will be sure to scare off everyone else and make him go crazy. What if he's really pissed you off and you want to get some revenge? Just splash some of our dead wolf carcass scent all over. He'll think you murdered his best friends. Won't that be a hoot? Wolf Brother Fragrances. we turn that nose of his into another way you can manipulate your husband? Because sometimes blackmailing Ogier isn't enough. I love that one so much.
Love it.
Oh, wet animals.
My favorite is Brian going, wet animals.
Wet animals.
So yes, we do lots of things like that. We have lots of fun sketches like the Real House. Well,
The Real Ale.
Real IO of wherever.
We did the Real Ale of Cold Rock's Hold for our first one, but we're gonna change it up.
So this is like we have a new one, new bit this week too that I think is freaking hilarious.
Darbinda's Omens.
Mm.
I really like Darbinda's Omens.
That was extremely fun.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
So check that out. Tarvalin After Dark will be available tomorrow morning for your way to work. I usually try to have it out at like 7 a.m. Last week did not go so well, but 7 a.m. it will be out, so you can download it and listen to it on the train, in the car, while you're blowing off work, whatever it is. Listen to Tarvalin After Dark.
In the
can get it
shower,
putting
your
while
face
you're
on.
sleeping. Yeah, anywhere.
Yeah, let us help you sleep.
wherever you get your podcasts. So, all right,
you go.
let's hop back into the discussion. Maybe we'll play another old commercial later if you guys are good. Let's talk about the yellow Aja. Brian, kick us off about the yellows, the healing Aja. What do you think?
Yeah, I love the yellows. Everyone in my family is either I have a lot of doctors and nurses in my family, and I'm a fan of healers, even though I'm not one myself. But my mom is a nurse and works in hospital management, and so I have a soft spot in my heart for anyone who dedicates their life to healing. And I love Nynaeve. She's my favorite character now. She wasn't always, but now she is. And in general, I like Nynaeve as the representative of the yellows. Again, I think we get to see a little glimpse into each Aja through specific characters. Like I don't really count Saerin as a glimpse in, not Saerin, Ciane as a glimpse into the whites, but Nynaeve is a glimpse into the yellows and why they choose this life, if that makes sense. So I really love the yellows because I love Nynaeve and I love that decision that I want to heal people.
Jess?
So I like the idea of the yellow Aja, but I don't. So the healing that they deal in is healing that they specifically can do. They are not working in mediums that other people can use so that they can go out and like teach different methods to other people or anything like that. So, and they don't have hospitals. They're not actually going out and healing people. So what's the point? Like literally, what's the point if they're not actually going out and doing something with it?
Totally agree. So the yellows are, you will find out when we get to my rankings, not my favorite Aja, primarily because of all the things that they don't do that they should be. So
That's a good point.
It's not so much that they're healed, but see, the other part about it is there are other Aes Sedai that are amazing healers. Moraine is considered one of the better healers, and she's not a yellow, right? Like, so she doesn't have to devote her life to it to learn. Like, what exactly are they doing that you would devote your life to doing it other than running hospitals, which they don't do?
Well, and it also seems like they're not innovating either because
they're
like
not.
Nynaeve, what did Nynaeve do? She brought spirit in or something. They're like, holy shit, we never thought of that. It's like,
right?
What the hell are you guys doing? Are you sitting on your ass and doing like the New York Times crossword or something? That's fine. But don't pretend like you're doing anything else.
I think Shane has it out for you, Brian.
Me.
I think Shane has it out for you.
I guess. No, I think that's a good. I mean, they don't have hospitals, which, you know, I'm talking about people who work in hospitals. I admire. So yeah, you're right. That's a good point. I just mean the decision to learn your channeling, intending to heal people with it, to like hone your skills for that and make that your focus, I think is admirable. So I rank them higher.
Okay, your favorite yellow. This one might be easy. I know what mine is.
Yeah, that's not even a question. Do
be
you want to do your second favorite yellow?
Sure, Sumiko.
I don't even.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sumiko.
You guys know all of these other Aes Sedai, and I'm like,
I'm trying to think if there's another one that I I can't.
There's
She's the one with a really like cool
there's all the
moment.
ones that are like, I don't know. They suck. I'm sorry. I hate the yellows. They're just useless other than Nynaeve, who's my favorite character. So, okay, let's move on from the yellow
But she's a
Ajah.
yellow.
Let's talk about the green Ajah. And I'm sorry, not
Okay.
Samiko. I meant to say
who's the one who heals
Samitsu.
Rand?
Samitsu
The
is
one
I
who
meant to say.
Cadswain says you're the best
Yeah.
we've ever had, maybe. Yeah.
Samitsu is who it is. Okay, the greens. Brian, go.
I mean, I love the greens because the greens are the most likable. The greens are the easiest to enjoy. And I think, given my personal life, I align with the greens the most as far as like, yeah, I would choose that just so that I could have a fun life and live like a person. But I enjoy the greens. Even the ones I don't like, I like. Like Alana drives me nuts. She does horrible things, but I still am entertained by her. Like I still think she's kind of fun in her way when I read her. So I enjoy the greens. I think the battle Ajah makes sense. It's important. You want that. So I like the greens. I debate green is one I might have chosen.
Jess?
I personally identify as a green. And I think that it's a great Ajah because, first of all, I think it's a great idea to have a standing army. And I think it's a great idea to have people who are preparing for the last battle. However, what are they doing to prepare? Are they sending sisters out as like an exchange program out to the Blight so that they can hone their skills and learn new shit, busting up fucking Shadow Spawn? Do they have outposts of sisters who are at the keeps in the Borderlands helping keep them safe? No. What are they doing? They're boning. And
can't fault them.
Eating snacks. Yep. One of the big reasons that I'm a green.
So yes,
boning and blowing stuff up.
Jess, you hit on all of my reasons why I find the greens in concept amazing, in actuality worthless. So conceptually, they makes total sense. Like there's an entire reason why this Ajah would exist. Having a like battle commander as the head of your Ajah makes total sense, and they do nothing, and they suck, and they can't even channel when the Shanchan attack. And like,
that drove me so nuts. That drove me so nuts because, okay, look, they're running. You have a novice over here with a Terangreal that she like shouldn't even have, and she's the one who's rallying the troops and like kicking everybody's ass. They're running. How do you not have drills? How do you not have drills to like protect the tower when it's under? What are you doing? All you're doing is boning. And eating
exactly.
Snacks.
All you're doing is boning.
How is Egwene the only person who thought, wow, we've got this storeroom with all these objects of the power that can fuck shit up?
This is what I'm saying.
Like, it makes no sense. Jay Diggity says the Greens should have War College. Yeah, but they don't, and they do nothing.
Like West Point.
Yes. They can barely, they cannot hold their own when they are attacked in that situation. I mean, the answer to the question is they wanted Egwene to look impressive. When I say they, I just mean, they wanted Egwene to look impressive. RJ did, Sanderson did, everyone on the team did. It didn't land perfectly, but that wasn't isolated to that moment. I do like that the Greens fail where Egwene succeeds. Yep. I just wish we could see it happen a little more detailed there, because if the Greens fell so quickly, we should at least get to see how that happened. Yep. Because maybe it happened because Egwene was the only one who had been a captive and knew how to fight this, but we don't see it, and it's just like, I guess the Greens are losing.
Yep. Darish said most of the Greens are ticks too, not a lot of them. I found that likable. I agree with that. Yeah. Alana in the show, I think, makes everybody think they love Alana. Alana's a bitch in the show. Alana's terrible. Jolene is terrible. Like Cadswain is a green. She's probably honestly the most likable green.
Adalorna gets captured.
Is awful.
She gets captured. Yeah. Yeah. There's what's her name? Who bonds Lan?
Morel.
Morel.
All right.
But even she has like big creep energy, which is
She's
like,
got some issues.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Green Aja?
I mean, there are people in the chat who are saying that Egwene is green, and I want to like clarify something with you boys. Nope. She never got raised to the Shaw, which means she can't have an Aja. She was the Amerlin in exile, which means she was of all Ajahs and of none, which means she's not a green. And she also was a novice as like a punishment for having the unmitigated gall to, be the Amerlin in exile. So she wasn't a green. She was a novice.
But she's not a green, but she does. There are definitely moments in the series where it goes into her internal monologue and she says, I would have chosen green.
Oh, she would be a green.
Yeah, and she brings it up often enough that like I can understand why someone would put her in.
I just wanted to hand the ass of all the people in the chat saying that she's green. That's all I'm like.
Sure, like, totally. Wrong. Yeah, what the fuck?
So Elaine.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for having my back, Brian.
Yeah, I get it.
So to me, I think it comes down to Elaine and Cadsuane, and between those two, I'm going to choose Cadsuane 10 times out of 10. So Cadsuane's my favorite green.
Yeah,
it's so funny. You said Elaine, I was like, oh yeah, I guess Elaine is a green. Yeah, I guess. But it's weird because we never get that moment, where she's raised.
Yeah.
Which is because she's crowned queen, and we sort of forget about it. But it's like, oh yeah, she is a green Aes Sedai. Yeah, no, I forget. Anyway,
this is a great point here. Adam brings up. We wonder why so many people become dark friends. What in the world institution would give anyone any hope? The tower really fails to give me confidence, and I agree. Mm-hmm. I think it's just such a failed entity in every respect. Like they're not living up to what they're supposed to be doing. They're serving nobody but themselves. They've lost touch. They're idiots, like total idiots.
They are absolutely complacent. They are complacent in their perceived role as, the most important people in the world. And they have completely lost all concept of what they're supposed to be as servants of all. Who are you serving? I would say no one.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Totally agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Egwene because, this isn't the only reason I like Egwene, but I really enjoy her changes to the White Tower and their system. And also the conversation Nynaeve has with her about how we need to change things. I enjoy reading about the problems in the tower and how they're going to fix it, but...
Okay. Grey Aja. Go, Jess. The Greys, the diplomacy Aja.
Well, I feel like that's another one that in concept is a really great idea. You have an Aja who are trained ambassadors. It makes a lot of sense. But what we saw them, and obviously, like I'm the first one to have a headcanon about what people are doing off screen because it suits my purposes to do so. But what we see of the Greys in action is not all that impressive. It's not great. I feel like my memory, I admit my memory is flawed, but what I remember is that like they did not inspire confidence in a diplomatic sense.
See, I feel like they did a good job for the most part. Like they negotiated with the sea folk. The times where we saw them do it, I think they did actually negotiate some good treaties. My opinion. I was a big fan of the Greys. And again, it's another Aja that in concept actually makes sense to exist. Like,
oh, totally.
Right.
Having people that are 100 years old or 200 years old that have been doing diplomacy for 200 years and also carry the weight of being a powerful bad bitch behind them. Like
the amount of context, like historical context that you would have when you're going into negotiations for something like that, in-depth knowledge has got to be so helpful.
Exactly. So like I like the Greys in concept, and I think we do get some good we do see some good stuff from them, although they also come across a little blind sometimes with negotiation too. So what do you think?
I don't know if the Greys get their moment. As far as like, why if we needed the Greys to fulfill this purpose, why weren't the Greys the ones in the last battle who were negotiating that treaty? Why we never really have a moment where like we really need that skill. And that's my thing with the Ajahs is like, I want at least one moment in the story with each Ajah where it's like, oh, that's why. Like, that's why we need that. And I'm not sure we get that with the Greys. I think Anora's an idiot for rescuing Galad and stilling herself during the last battle. I'm sorry. You stilled yourself during the last battle to save Galad, who was already stabbed. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan, but I appreciate the idea of the Greys, like you
Sure.
said.
All right, your favorite Grey?
Yukiri.
Yeah, Yukiri is mine too.
Yeah.
Anora would be another choice.
I can't choose Anora.
But Yukiri is cool because Yukiri did like first of all, I like her as a kind of feisty person as the Black Aja hunters, and then she did the stuff with the gateways that I thought was badass. So
and she's the one who's going to learn to fly.
Yep.
They established that at the end. They're like, oh, she might learn how to fly.
Yep, I liked her.
I think it's Yukiri.
So okay, just to keep us moving, we are on to the Brown Aja. Brown Aja. This is going to be a tough one, actually, and we'll get to that in a minute about why. But go ahead, Jess. Thoughts on the Brown Aja?
I mean, the Brown's purpose is the pursuit of knowledge.
Mhm.
And as far as I can tell, they kick ass at it.
Yeah.
Like, every time you see a Brown, she's got her nose in a book. She's writing shit down. She's, like, communicating ideas to people. Like, they're big nerds, and they're real good at it. Like, I feel like the Browns are effective from that standpoint. What they do with that knowledge, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, knowing history and knowing things is important. So,
Agreed.
you know, I think it's important to have, I think scholarship is important. And I think having an Aja of scholars makes sense.
What are your
Then
thoughts?
you have somebody
Ben?
to go to who's like, okay, can you please tell me the history of this, like, really super obscure thing? And they're like, oh, this bitch knows all of that. And then she info dumps on you, and it's great.
Yeah. You want those sisters.
Brian, what are your thoughts?
How spoilerish are we?
Total.
Okay. So
Varen doesn't count.
Varen doesn't count. No, you know what? She doesn't even need to count.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to talk about what she says to Egwene, which is every woman in the Brown seeks to create something lasting, something meaningful. And the information we gather, we leave it for others. Other Ajahs look to make today better. We yearn to make tomorrow better.
Mm-hmm.
And
love that.
What's wonderful about that is I can only think of one other speech in the series where someone explains what it means to be from their Ajah. It's Alana to Egwene in book 2, when Egwene says, what does it mean to be Green Ajah? And weirdly, Alana's first part of her answer is, you must love men. And it's like, well, okay, that's a weird... but
you want to know what though? Let me interject really quickly. It makes sense because you cannot be a green sister going out and doing battle if you do not have somebody to watch your back. So if you are like, men are dicks and I have no interest, like, green is not a good idea for you because you will get shot.
That's fair. No, it's definitely, if you're trying to sell it to someone, it's a good like disclaimer, but it's just weird to me that she's asked what it means to be a green Ajah, and that's the first thing she says. But what I really mean, it's actually nice though. It's a nice moment because it's not that common when someone explains what their Ajah means. Mm-hmm. And for Varen to explain what the brown Ajah means in the Gathering Storm is part of what makes that scene so cool, because it's the only time we get it. And it's special. And when I look at what she says in that particular passage, I'm like, yeah, I would probably choose brown.
Yep. I love the brown. I do think, again, it's an Ajah that has a reason to exist. They're devoted to knowledge. I wish they did more teaching. So, like, I wish that they actually ran schools or something. Like, again, it's how could they serve? This is how they could serve. Can you imagine having a 200-year-old professor with all the knowledge that they've been able to gather in their lifetime that could help benefit the world by teaching? So, but that being said, I do love the browns. Now, when we talk about our favorite browns here, we can't use Varen because Varen is technically not a brown. So
no, she's a brown.
Okay.
She's a brown.
Because she's black under duress. She's black under duress. Her heart is still brown.
She says
Aldemai was brown.
Story-wise, do Browns offer things other than Ogier, though? I would say yes, but
They probably talk faster.
yeah. But thank you, Jay Diggity. So your favorite Brown sister? I'm telling you for my show, no Varen. Who is your other Brown? Favorite Brown?
Well, you're not my dad, so.
Who's the one with the owl in her room? Is it Varen?
Yeah, I think Varen has the owl.
My favorite is Saren. Saren is my favorite.
Saren. Oh my god, Saren. Yes.
Saren is my favorite Brown. But
I have a hard time with Saren and Cian.
Yeah, they always get, because they're in that same group too, and that's why it always gets screwy. But okay, last Ajah to talk about, and then we'll rank them. The Black Ajah. The Black Ajah. Thoughts?
They're real good at being bad.
Mm-hmm.
And not bad as in useless, bad as in bad.
They're my favorite to read about. I wish we got so much more of the Black Ajah. I wish we got so much more. Like, again, going back to the Varen thing, when she starts to give us little tiny details about what it's like to take the oaths, I'm like, oh, I want that so bad. I love all the Darkfriend, Black Ajah stuff. I want more. My favorite scenes are either Forsaken or Black Ajah meetings.
Yep, I love the Black Ajah.
I think what's really amazing too is that they were able to orchestrate a coup, and every single one of them only knew 3 other blacks out of all the black sisters in the tower. They only knew 3 other ones, like their own little circle, and then and each of those had their own little circle, so you never knew who anybody else was except for like your circle, and they still managed to pull off like a coup. And set up a puppet, and like it was amazing. Yep, agreed. The Black are the very, very effective at what they do. I love Alviarin, and I'm not a huge fan of Galena because I just felt like she was kind of useless. But Alviarin, she was excessively cruel.
Yep. Heather White says the White Tower is a perfect example of how a group becomes obsolete, entrenched in their old ways. Nothing happens until new blood forces it, which is exactly what happens. And I would argue that was probably Robert Jordan's point with it all, too. But,
I just want to throw out, before I forget, Galena as Geishine gets me through those Malden chapters.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
And being
100%
terrified of Tharava.
It's like, it's the one thing when I get some Malden, I'm like, okay, but can I just see Galena get tortured a little bit? Can we just watch a little bit?
Just a little bit of torture as a treat.
Because I don't love Malden, but it's like, well, maybe Galena will start to suffer in a couple pages.
Now, sometimes the Black Ajah are useless. There's times where they're useless, but the fact that they were able to remain hidden as long as they did, and as far infiltrated as they were, and like,
they were so deeply entrenched.
They were, and they almost essentially lost without Varen doing what she did, it's most likely that the Shadow wins. So that's the level of power there. So
the Aes Sedai would have been almost useless if we got to the last battle and half of them, not half of them, but like if that hadn't been discovered, what would they have done? Like,
yup.
Okay. So we are going to play one commercial, and then we will come back and we will announce our top 8 in a row. So what commercial should we play, Jess? What's your favorite?
Can we do Ways for the Ways?
Ooh.
Find it.
I love that one.
Ways for the Ways. Want to use the ways, but can't find a guide? Do Ogier tell you to screw yourself when you ask for help? Does no one understand how important your travel plans are? Introducing Ways for the Ways, the navigation app that will change your life. You don't need an Ogier to guide you. Just type in your location and let ways for the ways do the rest.
Walk 200 paces. Turn right at the guiding stone with Trollocs melted into it. Take exit 3 after the bridge, or you will fall into a bottomless pit, screaming until you go mad and eventually die.
Say goodbye to your nightmares about Makin Shin. With ways for the ways, you can avoid whatever the hell that thing is.
Warning, black wind ahead. Rerouting to avoid a fate worse than death. That thing will mess you up.
Leave your Ogier friends alone and download our app today. Ways for the ways. Without it, you're pretty much fucked. Ways for the ways.
Jess, I love your computer voice. It's great.
I
That's
had
really
so
good.
much fun with that.
That was
I
perfect.
love many more commercials where I get to be a robot.
We've started using it
All
quite
right.
a bit because we had the white cloak
It came up
comment
again
bot.
like the next episode, yeah.
Yeah, white
Yeah.
cloak comment bot, and that was a hit as well with Jess. So, okay,
Killing it.
top 7. Let's go with our number 8.
Wait. Top 7 or top 8?
Top 8. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Top
okay.
8.
I was
We're
like,
going to start with your bottom. Who is the number 8 worst Ajah? To me, I will kick us off. It is the white Ajah. Is at number 8. They are the most useless, worthless POS Ajah.
I'm going to second that. Mine is also number 8, White Ajah.
Jess?
I mean, I really want to defend the white Ajah, but yeah,
Okay,
But you can't.
but you can't.
I can't.
But
I
you
mean,
can.
I can like theoretically defend them, but there is actually nothing solid to use for that. So
Okay. Number 7. For me, I know this will just tick you off. The yellow Ajah is number 7 to me because they just do nothing.
I understand that. I like the idea of the yellow Ajah, which is why I rank them higher, but I understand that.
Jess,
They're like, just, yeah.
number 7 for you is what?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the yellow.
Okay.
Brian?
My number 7 is the Black Ajah. As I mentioned, I love reading about the Black Ajah, but I'm gonna not put them too high because they're the Black Ajah. You know?
Ooh, interesting.
Actually, you want to know what? I'm going to change mine. Not the yellow. I'm going to say the green because the yellows, at least, if you go to the tower, you can get healed.
I
the
was waiting for
greens?
you to make the green number 1, Jess. So that's
I want
shocker
to.
me.
I want to make greens number 1. If we're talking about their potential, the greens are absolutely number 1 for me. But if we're talking about realistically what they're bringing to the table,
Well,
Okay.
I'm going off my own rubric.
So, well,
Is
that's
there
fine.
more specific? I mean, we were told to rank them. Is there a more
Yeah,
specific?
they're ranked. This is your ranking. So for me,
It's my ranking,
numbers-
but
number
okay.
6 is the greens. The greens are number 6 to me. So again, I just find them to be conceptually great, in execution awful, god awful, terrible. So that's where
Okay.
I rank the greens as number 6. Or Brian, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is the Grays. Especially with the whites being the Logic Ajah, I feel like that could kind of be wrapped in there. And I just don't feel like we get a lot of gray action in the series as far as seeing why that's important to have. I think the Ajahs I ranked above that are all Ajahs where I'm like, oh yeah, I understand why that's there. The Grays, I understand why they're there. I just don't think we get to see a great example of it.
What about you, Jess?
I'm going to put the yellows. at this one.
Yellows. Okay. So you flip-flopped mine. Number 5 for me is the grays. So Brian, I'm one off from you. The grays, I think, are a little bit more effective than the other ones in some ways. And again, they have a reason for their Ajah to exist, but there's just not enough there. So they're number 5 to me. And I think the ones above them on my list are just better. So
Sure.
number 5, what's your number 5?
Me or Jess? Me?
You, Brian.
My 5 is the Reds. And I'm working in, I guess I kind of ranked mine in terms of like, I get why they're there.
Mhm.
And I get why the Reds are there. And I also, I also am tying into their place in the story, and I appreciate that the Reds grow and change as an Aja. I think they're interesting, and even though a lot of villains are Reds, I enjoy Pivara and Sylviana and seeing that not everyone in this Aja is the same. And that is part of the story. I like that.
Jess?
I think I'm going to have to agree with you and go with Gray.
Gray? I see, Jess, you're smart. Brian, you're just wrong. It's okay.
That's fine.
You're just wrong. Number 4 for me is the Browns. Now we're getting into the Ajahs that I think are very valuable and do their job. And the Browns could be doing more. Like I said, they could be teaching and all that. But like as it comes to acquiring knowledge and writing it all down, they do a great job of that. And the Tarvalin library is amazing. So kudos to the Browns. Love them.
The work of Brown's past comes in handy at numerous points in time during the story. So, like, even if it isn't a current Brown that's doing it, their Browns are coming through from, the annals of history. So
they're not my number 4. What about you, Brian?
My number 4 is the Yellows. I understand that you're right. Like many other Ajahs, I feel we don't really get to see a great example of like what they're doing out in the world outside of what's going on in the tower. And for all we know, the answer is nothing. So yeah, I completely understand that. I just think the idea of having a healing Ajah is a good idea. And I like that it's full of women who have decided they want to dedicate their lives to healing. I'm not saying that the way they go about it in the series is smart or effective, but I like that there is a healing Ajah, and I have to rank that higher on my list.
Okay, love it. Jess?
Black.
Black is number 4. Why? Why number 4 for you?
Because I feel like the Browns and the Blues and whoever else is left. Who's left? Brown and blue.
Well, we've all ranked different, so.
Oh, right. Yeah, because the Reds, the Browns, and the Blues I haven't ranked yet, and I think they're better than the Black.
Got it.
Sure.
My number 3 is the Blues. Because I do think they play a vital role in the story, and their cause, the one that we get to see front and center, could not be more important in the series with Moraine and Swan's cause. And I do like the other Blues that we meet for the most part, and they have awesome spy networks. And so, yeah, Blues are number 3 for me.
Excellent. Is it me?
Yep.
My number 3 is the Greens. I like the Greens. They're nuts, and I'm nuts, and I relate. And I like that they're the battle Ajah, which is something helpful. And again, I did not rank mine based on how effective they are at their jobs. I ranked mine based on how much I appreciate the intent of the Ajah and how it fits into the story.
Yeah.
And I think the Greens, you gotta have your Greens, and it's I love reading about the Green Ajah. They're a little out there, which I kind of makes them more entertaining to me.
Jess?
Which one is this? Number 3?
Number 3.
I'm going to go Reds.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are effective at a portion of what they do, but I feel like they've lost the plot a little bit, but they're still doing something important. So
yep,
sure.
They are my number 2. So the Reds are number 2 for me. They are, to me, of the Ajahs, the most effective at what they do. They get shit done. Yes, they're a little biased, but they're probably the most important Ajah in terms of what they do, and they're actually good at it. So I'm going to say the Reds is number 2.
Nice.
That's fair.
I get that. I love me some Reds. usually. Actually, not usually, but sometimes. I think my number 2 has to be. I'm going back and forth. Like I'm killing time. I'm gonna say blue. I'm gonna say blue is my number 2. Again, I love Moiraine. I love that Moiraine is the character through which we are introduced to this wonderful Aes Sedai culture. And I'm torn. No, it's got to be the blues. I like the blues. They're good. Swan is amazing. Moiraine is amazing. And all the blues seem to be acting in good faith. Like everything they're doing. Actually, no, that's not true at all because they're sketchy. I just like them. They're just fun. I like them. I like Moiraine.
That's a good enough answer.
That's my answer. I like Moiraine.
Jess, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is the blue, but only because of their eyes and ears network. Sure. I am not willing to give the entire Ajah a pass just because Swan and Moiraine are doing something important when the rest of them are off doing fuck all. So for their eyes and ears networks only, I had them at number 2.
Okay,
I agree with that. And number 1 for me, far and away the most effective Ajah, the black. They did it all. They did more. They accomplished what they set out to for the most part. And if not for a betrayal, they would have gotten away with it.
I was going to say, but they did lose.
They got betrayed. I get it. But they did a lot of damage over literally like 2,000 years. So I'd say there's a lot there. So just saying. Number 1 for me is the Black Ajah. And of course, I'm the Nae'Blis. So I have to be a Darkfriend.
Typical.
I feel like if this were rock, paper, scissors, my number 1 brown Ajah would be the scissors to your paper on this. Like, I pick brown Ajah, which beats your black Ajah, because one of them took you down. And she was brown Ajah. I'm going to stand by that. But I also, the reason it's really number 1 on my list is, as I mentioned before, I really love that we get a picture of why this matters. Why do you need a scholar Ajah? And we get to see it. Yep. And I think that as we rank these, like that's what a lot of these lack, is a moment where you get to see why this matters. Even the yellows, like, yes, they don't have this network of hospitals that you would think they have. But at least throughout the series, when there's a yellow nearby and someone's wounded, you get to see why that's helpful. We don't get that with some of the others even. Yep. So I chose mine as far as like, how does this fit into the story? And the brown Ajah has to be my top pick because I just think and also because everyone underestimates them. And the idea that this woman brought down all of them, it makes me want to be a brown.
Love it. Jess?
A brown is my number 1 as well. All of Brian's points are well taken and well said. And also, I feel like maybe they don't get all the credit they should have because if you think about, there are many points throughout the story when there's information that a brown has collected over the course of history. For example, the list of Angreal that one sister studied, stuff like that ended up being important for them to figure stuff out or, whatever. So, I think that, I think Brian, to your point about, wanting to make tomorrow better, like they're recording their knowledge so that people can use it in the future. And it ended up helping like a lot. Plus 1 brown took down the entire Black Ajah. And I mean, we can't discount that. So
good. So good.
Agreed.
So what's her name who wrote all those things who kept going into talk? Sorry.
I think it starts with a C.
I think it's a D. Corianin. Look at you. Look at you.
Oh, it was Darush. I just read what he said.
It was going to kill me, so I'm glad.
I would have done a poll, by the way, but you can only put 4 answers for the polls. So sorry, guys, in the chat. Okay. Last thing that I want to do. That was a lively, fun discussion. I want to pitch something that is going down for the community, which everybody should love. And if you haven't ever seen this before, you should check it out. The What Song Parody Challenge is coming up here this next month. What that is basically it's run by the Dusty Wheel, Unraveling the Pattern, and What Up YouTube channels. and it is basically song parodies that take a Wheel of Time tint to them. I am going to play one of them, or a clip at least for one of them here from the winner last year, so that everybody can see what this is, and so you might want to tune in. Let me go ahead and play this because it is so damn good.
It's not that I wanted to, but Shatan took my sanity away. Forgive me, I never meant to peel your fingers off, Ilyena. I'm sorry that I ripped our kids and killed your favorite servant, Drew. I beat him black and blue. I beat him with my shoe. What would you do if I fire blossom Drew? Most your feet with flame and air, pulled out every single hair. What would you say if I smashed your mother's face? Wasn't even in a rage, I just hated that fucking face.
All right. I won't play the whole thing because, for sake of time, because there's one more that I wanted to play a clip of, because this one I loved last year as well. But that was really damn good. Let me go ahead and play this one because it's by somebody special.
Tumble to the window, open it up and look down below, and outside I see the tower come to life. In the exercise yard, the water starts firing around the fence. The spectators swarming with girls like me who wanna be Aes Sedai. Wanna be Aes Sedai. I'm channeling the power, have to visualize that stupid little flower. It's a sister's game. No matter what they tell you, if you break the rules, they will just expel you. Aes Sedai. Can't wait to bond the water. Want to go up north and kick ass on the fight border. Want to get my shawl, but the Amaryllis won't let me. I swear sometimes that woman's out to get me.
All right. Good job,
No, I
Jess.
was not singing along at the top of my lungs at all.
Love it. So if you like those, there are literally last year there were 40 entries, and all of them were really, really good. Like I remember when we were doing the voting, they do this sort of like American Idol. So it's live, and then they go up against each other and you vote. And it was so damn hard to pick some of them because I just played 2, but there were so many really, really good ones out there. So
we have an insanely talented fandom.
Yes, we do. And I remember the other one too. Androl did a cover or a remake of Bad by Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. That one was really good.
Didn't Jenny do the Fresh Prince theme?
Yes, that was.
And she had all animations and shit in her video. It was amazing. You guys, you have to go to the Dusty Wheel and find it. It's it's so good. It's so good.
Well, guys, thanks for joining me. You can find all of us on Tarvalon After Dark, which will come out tomorrow. If you want to come hang out when we're done here, I'm going to hop into Discord. So we'll hang out in Discord. We did last week or the 2 weeks before. We'll chat. You guys can if you want, but you don't have to. But otherwise, thanks for coming on. We will see you next week back here on the Darkfriend Social. Keep it wheel. Is that what we say?
Keep it wheel.
Keep it real. We say that, yeah.
Yeah, we
All
do
right.
say that.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having
Yeah.
me.
This was fun.
Bye.
Bye.